That's right. That's right. Yes, sir.
You can come over here and you can see kind of what we're doing.
W40. Got it.
And before we get going, let me give you a tube of grease. Now this thing is a little expensive. That's about what you get. This stuff's a little expensive, about $7, but they're made for pumps.
Mm-hmm.
High pressure, high heat.
That's right.
It's yours. Oh, take it first, and you can hit that with a hammer with water, and it won't disappear. I mean, that stuff's nasty.
Okay, we'll start ordering some of that. Okay, yeah, put the snap right on there.
That's right.
Okay, so you got the engine. You know where the throttle is. You know where the fuel shutoff is.
Yep. That's on. That's off.
That's right.
Correct.
So put it back to.
Correct. So when I turn it off, I usually wait for the engine and then just turn it right back to on position. That way you can start it up next time. And sweet. If you leave it off, somebody's back here starting it 15 times, and hey man, you need to come over, look at this. Well, now the battery's dead.
Right.
Yeah. So you got a simple fuel kicker. This is if you run out of fuel, you can prime it here.
Okay.
Right. So you got oil, fuel, and your air with an air indicator. Correct. And every 250 engine hours.
250
on the hour gauge. Yeah. So a lot of people just write it on the engine, write it somewhere, keep it with you.
So here's the drain plug. Here's the oil filter.
That's
Correct.
right.
That's
And then you have a secondary fuel filter, and that sucks up just water and debris.
Okay, so do I want to change the fuel filters every time I service it? Every 250, I change both.
You change all three filters, and the air filter. You're going to change the hydraulic filter here.
It's got a part number on it too, so it's
And
easy.
then there's one in here. That's the main suction line. Hydraulic.
Now all the filters get changed 250.
Every 250 hours. Yeah. Cada 250 horas se reemplazan todos los filtros, tanto los de parte hidráulica como los de aire y los del motor.
So about the engine, since we're on this topic, now you see the engine runs through the shake shaft.
Yep.
Through the bell housing, into the first pump, and then into the secondary pump. So it's a straight shaft. So in theory, if you run this motor at half speed and raise it up volumely, like on the hydraulic side, and raise it up, the machine's not cooling itself or cleaning. So that's the reason why you must run the machine all the way out, all the way 22, 2100. That's where it's going to go. Yes.
So,
And that way it cleans, and you have the right pressure. The machine's running correct. Because what will happen is that at some point the pump's got to convert. It's called a point of regulation on a pump. It's usually about 100 bars, somewhere 95. But what happens is when you run it at half speed, the pump now tries to convert for you. So now it's not asking for pressure, it's asking for volume. So then what it's doing is the machine is pushing 36 liters a minute, and you're going to overheat just by half throttle, half speed. Correct.
O sea, para operar la máquina siempre se tiene que operar en la máxima velocidad con el throttle corrido totalmente hacia atrás. Nunca se puede operar ni desacelerar la máquina cuando esté en operación.
Where the pistons are. And it's done that through the computer inside. It's a one-shot deal. If you have some stuttering going on, first you verify that it's not the proximity switch and it's not the wire. If not, then the computer comes out. They're relatively cheap. They're $500-600. I mean, in concrete pumping it's cheap, but I mean, when you think about it,
yeah, right.
So then you have your horn, and that gauge is for the.
Sweet.
So then you got moving on to the air filter. You got an air indicator here.
Es el indicador de aire para el filtro.
If it turns red,
Cuando se pone rojo es porque el filtro de aire ya está sucio, está saturado.
So up front, you've got a 7-spade connector.
Este es el conector para la camioneta.
And that handles your brakes and your lights. There's no reverse lights on these. Just turn this top. You got your chains and a peel hook.
By the way, which type did you bring? Was it this kind? Excellent.
Sure did. And then your 10,000 pound jack. And it comes with a adjustable foot. So you put it up there, adjust it out. Yeah, that way you don't have to screw this thing all the way back down. Yeah. Alternator, battery cables, battery, your starter, and then your starter relay. When you turn the key switch, it's energizing this, and that throws 12 volts to the Bendix. On this side, you're going to have accumulator, and this is stored energy. So if you ever hear somebody say, my pump is a dual circuit, meaning that there's two systems running independently, that's because there's an accumulator on it. A single circuit, you would get an extra long pump, and there's no circuit on it. It's running, it's pushing fluid.
So this is two, that's why it has that.
Yeah.
Dual circuit. So this thing is filled up with 100 bar of dry nitrogen, and then the pump accommodates the other 100 bar, and that gives you 200 bar. So it shifts fluid probably down and right back up. Now the pump doesn't put that 200 bar for very long. They're different pumps, and they don't accommodate the heat. So if this thing gets low, the pump tries to accommodate the lowness, and you end up burning the pump up.
So what do I buy to put in this?
Dry nitrogen.
Dry nitrogen.
Aquí va nitrógeno
And inert
seco.
gas. You want to use oxygen or acetylene or anything like that.
Y normalmente hay que estar pendiente de las presiones para que
If you ever see one blow
no vaya
up,
a quemar la bomba principal. Ahorita les enseñamos cómo chequear esas presiones.
They were carrying a bunch of these, and then when the bottom depressurized, they exploded. It ripped that plane in half.
I didn't worry about that.
Yeah, I think 174 people got it.
Wow.
So now, when they ship these things, the bag is separate from the bottle. You can have any gas in them now when you ship them. Okay, so you got your switchover levers. These are the cylinders, and then when you get the signal switch, boom, boom. So if one goes bad, you'll see it every other stroke, because you get pressure on this side, and this one returns back to tank, boom, it's off over. When it's pressure on that side, boom.
That's when you know they're going bad.
If you get a leak, you're going to have to
in the cylinder.
Correct. If the package had gone bad, you notice, oh man, it's only leaking every other shift. That's the reason why.
Just like any other, it just decompress and go back.
Correct. Yeah. There's just a full reversing valve, and that opens up, and it pushes fluid back in. Gotcha. It's a closed loop system, so in theory, you can't. It keeps the same oil in the differentials, in theory, but you're always adding or taking away. That's what these downside release. See the release cartridges here?
Yeah.
There's two of them, and that's taken away, and then the ones at the head add oil if you're low. So it does move fluid, just not a lot at the same time. Now they've gone to a whole different system. Everybody fights for, how many yards an hour can I put out on the ground?
I know. That's what they're with now. The squeeze pump, don't push that much.
Right. So everybody's fighting for points. That's the reason why there's a Schwing and a Boots and a Reed. Everybody's got a different idea of how to skin the cat. So you got your outriggers. Yep. You've seen these go down, up and down through the outrigger valve here. And like we were discussing, this must be in neutral.
Eso normalmente se pone en neutro. Esto maneja el agitador. Estas dos manejan las patas de los soportes laterales hidráulicos.
Okay, so in the center there, you've got your S2. On the backing plate is a wear plate, and on the front of it is a cutting ring. And there's a piece of rubber in that S-tube that floats that metal together. So as you start wearing off metal, it's still steadily trying to push it together. Right? Back transition, outlet bearing. That's actually a bearing in there. That's what you're greasing. There's 3 seals in there. Now the reason why I gave you that grease is you're going to be greasing this at every 50 yards.
Cada 50 yardas tiene que engrasarse.
When 50 leaves, my 60 is backing up, boom, boom, boom. I hit everything about 3 shots.
Every 50 yards of concrete.
Or at the end of every job too.
See, on the squeeze pump, I went down to Anderson and
También al final de cada trabajo se engrasa la máquina. Once a year, wow. Yeah, right.
I don't know about.
No. There's a lot of bearings, a lot of moving parts in it.
In theory, it should last you, about 8,000 yards before you have to start taking stuff out. If you get a bad operator on there, it could be a week, and that's $5,000, easily $5,000.
Okay, so you said if I get a bad operator on it,
it doesn't grease.
It doesn't grease the machine
You don't.
every 50 yards.
You'll be out
in a cycle per month, and then you go 2 months, and then bi-weekly, and then I pretty much know how many hours you're going, so you can schedule. Okay, well, I know the maintenance is coming up next month. Our hours are accumulated. That's why I keep track of the hours. But you couldn't. A lot of guys get there and like, I'm gonna unplug that thing. That's bad to have too many hours on my machine. Well, it kind of hurts you in the end. So because the machine doesn't do it in mileage, so there's no way.
No, there's no way to know when it needs to be serviced.
Right. Your guys can go out there and turn it on and leave it out there for 8 hours just idling. You need to know that, you know.
That's right. That's right.
Now, and you take in consideration, if this thing is running at 250 hours and you only pump 30 yards, then I probably wouldn't do the hydraulic filter, you know what I mean?
When this thing's running, we're going to be pumping material for sure.
Now, if you make 6 or 8 months, and even though you only got 40 yards to it, you're going to have to change the filter. Because it's a paper filter in a steel element, so the paper will get funky. You got to change, start fluffing off. Okay, so you got your hour meter, you got your RPM gauge, how much the engine, you got your simple oil temperature, oil pressure, and your altimeter.
Those are lights.
Estos son luces o sensores, lo que nos dice, nos da la presión de aceite, alternador. Este no sirve para nada en este momento. Si usted lo quieren utilizar, lo pueden utilizar poniéndole un vibrador.
Correct. And when you get the vibrator, it has a vibrator symbol, and you can just stick that on there. It's blue, you know, it's like a decal,
right.
And it tells you that you're on there. Cycle A and B is manually you can move the cylinder in and out.
Con esto pueden mover manualmente los cilindros, manualmente. Digamos, si un sensor de proximidad tuvo un problema, usted puede utilizarlo, sostenerlo. This you will hold, right?
Correct.
Tú sostienes acá y mandas un pistón, sueltas, vuelves al siguiente y mandas el otro pistón en caso de que los sensores de proximidad, o si quieren cambiar los pistones, también pueden utilizar esto.
To get it ready?
That would just be for a mechanic's point of view.
Oh, okay.
The A and B. I use it a lot to wash the water box out. I don't put it in pump forward. I just hold the cylinder A, wash it out. When it stops at travel, I let go and then hit B. Wash it out, and that's it. A lot of guys just put on pump and just let it pump real slow. You know, but if your hands are in there, I suggest you don't leave them in there while it's pumping. At least your hands on the switch, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, when I started with Schwing, we had 5 stickers. When I left them, they had 47 stickers. Every one of these stickers that you see ended in a fatality. That one, by chance, I know of, because when Ford went to the 6.4s, the guy who cut 4 fingers off, and the ambulance broke down on the way to the hospital. The guy bled to killed fatality. I mean, it wasn't all of Schwing's fault, but trust me, we're implicated in the class action suit. So as you can see, everything that you see here has happened one time or the other. So keep your hands out of the water box, keep them out of the grate when it's running, and keep them no farther than when you put your hand in there, got that little grease sitting on, that's about as far as you stick your hand in there.
Nunca metan la mano más adentro que donde ven la grasa, por seguridad.
Most of these 4x4s are cut. You know, I cut them, I put them in there and let them walk them over. It makes a hell of a cutting machine. And that, trust me, at 200 bars,
it's going to go right through your arm.
Pull your arm down. And you'll be lucky if it rips your arm out when it pulls in. You'll be lucky. You know that's a lot.
This is too much.
Yeah. Usually drag you in there and kill you. You might get lucky if it walks your arm out. So okay, so then you got your emergency stop.
Eso es para parado de
If you
emergencia.
have a problem, you've seen something go down the hopper real quick, boom, you hit it and it stops all funky. Won't kill the motor, but it'll stop all funky.
Stop pumping.
Yeah, because the motor gets killed manually.
Correct.
Doesn't have an electronic shut-off valve.
Now between 04 and 09, it used to kill the motor, and then a lot of companies would hit it and then couldn't restart the machine, so then it left them down, and then the whole asset got locked up. So now the new way is you hit it and it still stops functioning, but the motor fully stays running. Okay. That and if you kill the motor, you couldn't obtain the water, because a lot of these are sold with water pumps. You buy an external water pump for it. Fill a 55-gallon drum full of water, put the suction line in it, and you can wash the machine down. So that's the reason why they leave the motor running now. You'll be able to clean it out. Working on to you got local and remote, so when you have this up, the light's going to be blinking, meaning that you're in the remote function. This panel is working. When you have it down, you have it in the remote function, and it remotely.
De esta manera utilizan el panel para bombear. De esta manera, en remoto, van a utilizar el control remoto para bombear.
Did you sell this with a
Yeah, I think this has a wireless remote. I think so. We'll check it out in a minute.
So then you got pump on.
Con esto bombean.
And then you got pump off. And then you got reverse.
Y esto es reversa. Esto es pompeo hacia adelante o bombeo hacia adelante, neutro. y reversa.
And the lights will coordinate.
This one is pushing it to go back. You see it? I think it's the boot
Yeah,
is brand new,
brand
so it's
new, yeah.
pressing it back up. You're gonna have to,
Wear in.
yeah, wear it a little bit. Pero sí, de esta manera bombeo hacia adelante, neutro y reversa.
So now to gain control of the machine, you're going to have to set the control on. So you're going to get a blinking light.
Así se prende. Maybe
Oh, you don't have it local. So you see the light
ahí lo pongo en
blinking?
local para que
So now if I
funcione.
try to put the pump on, it's going to be blinking too. It means you haven't set the machine up.
No debería de estar blinqueando, no debería estar titilando. Presiono el pito y mire, ahora ya no titilan. Las luces están sólidas, ahora ya tengo control de mi máquina. El horn o el pito siempre se tiene que prender. Siempre se tiene que hundir, es como un sistema de seguridad.
But when you first start it up, you must beep the horn one time
To get everything to override, get the light
for the safety
flash.
and off the relief. Correct.
So when I'm starting it, you turn it on. When you're starting, you cut it on before you do that, right?
Correct. So you see the lights blinking,
Yep.
and right now, without you beeping the horn, now the pump on is blinking, or reverse is blinking.
Yep.
You beep the horn, and now it's going to be a solid. Now you have control of the machine.
Okay, now I can start to go.
No, not necessarily. I mean, you can have it running,
Okay.
and it's blinking. I put it in nothing. So I come down, I beep the horn. Now watch the piston. So the reason why I'm telling you set the safety relief is you're going to come one day and turn this on and nothing's happening, but the lights are blinking. What the hell is going on? You know, we've got to beep the horn to energize the system. It's just a protocol.
Safety.
Correct. And the same with the remote system. You flip it down to remote, you must beep the horn. Now you have control remotely.
Got it.
Safety has dumped off.
Would you give me 1 second? Okay, so now we're gonna pressure test this machine. Quick note in Spanish. Es importante no ir a llenar los cilindros con agua, perdón, la caja de agua con agua más arriba que los cilindros, de esta manera. Que no se suba por encima porque pues el agua básicamente va a encontrar su camino hacia adentro de los cilindros diferenciales. Es recomendable ahí porque ahora no le echen aceite, no le echen ningún otro tipo de agente, utilicen agua. Lo mejor es el agua enfría, terminan el trabajo, sencillamente voltean esta palanca, sacan el agua y dejan la máquina sin agua para el otro día. Al otro día siguiente, cuando empieza el siguiente trabajo, asegúrese, lo primero antes de bombear concreto, echarle el agua otra vez hasta este punto y ya pueden continuar con el resto de la operación en la máquina común y corriente, tal como se les explicó en el resto del video. Es un punto importante, nunca, jamás bombeen concreto sin agua en los cilindros, de lo contrario van a dañar los pistones, perdón, los empaques de los rods y van a dañar los pistones. PSI right there, man. If you're doing that with concrete, you are plugged up. I mean, you're ready to blow them hoses up. Woo! It's a lot of store energy right here. It's a lot of store energy right now. I mean, it goes to a little quarter of a inch hole. Now, why we take him to this kind of extremes? You're never gonna pump. You never need to pump a 300, almost 400 bar right now. 300, almost 300 bar in pressure. Yeah, we have it wide open. But the thing is, you never necessarily need to do that type of thing unless you're testing it like we're doing. The idea of us doing this right now is to ensure that whatever happens, this is the most extreme it's ever gonna get to. You know, so there's no, oh, the pump got here, it's fucked up, or it doesn't have hydraulic pressure. You see that everything is a monster right now. So that's the idea, you know.
I mean, you never seen a piece of steel shake like that. This fucker's volatile.
All right, now you are ready to go, my friend. We hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. To continue seeing more content like this, don't forget to subscribe. Also, you can just go right here on this link to our website, liveequipment.com, for a complete list of equipment available for sale. Or just keep navigating to our channel. Have a great day.